So, dreams. Most of us have them, and I know that this is a topic that's been covered by quite a lot of people, either talking about their own dreams or speculating as to why dreams happen. And one theory that I personally heavily disagree with is the idea that dreams are purely made up of your memories, all mixed up together in some sort of weird amalgamation of your inner psyche. The reason I say this is because a lot of my dreams in particular are very odd, to say the least. I mean, first of all, one reoccurring thing that happens in my dreams is the presence of a monster. It doesn't matter if it's a good dream, bad dream, a bad dream, obviously, or just a sort of mediocre dream. There's always a monster. Even if I don't directly see it, I just know it's there. Like, it could never show up in the dream, but I will always feel its presence there, which is, needless to say, not exactly the greatest experience. Furthermore, I've recently made the discovery that the majority of the time that I have a dream, I often end up not sleeping very well. I'm not sure if this is related to outside factors or something like that. And nonetheless, it's something that I've noticed, and it's not really comfortable, having a dream, then automatically waking up feeling like crap. And oh boy, are those dreams something. Some of the latest dreams that I had, like the one that I had last night, oh, that was a doozy. So it takes place in a reoccurring scenario, in a reoccurring sort of location in the dreamscape or whatever. It's been a while since I've had a dream like this in particular, but essentially the brass tacks of it all is that in this dream, the world is going to end for one reason or another. And while in this dream, the central area is like this sort of canyon thing, with the far right side of it being just my house for some reason. But it's a strange sort of way, because it's not my house, and there's no building there, but it's just, I know that every time I go to the far right of the canyon, I'll be able to go into my house and find all my stuff. And this idea of having to leave my stuff behind and all that one is reoccurring within these sorts of dreams, and I do see that being from, my experiences that I've had in real life with having to get rid of some of my stuff because, I don't know, I'm sentimental or something like that. Either way, that's a reoccurring theme, but not necessarily the main shtick of it. The main thing that's going on is that, obviously, the world is going to end, but on the far left side of the canyon type thing, there's like this research station with a bunch of science going on. There's members of my family right there just kind of doing their own thing. I don't exactly know what they're doing. They're not doing any science stuff because the science stuff is being done by like some little cartoon type creatures. I honestly don't know what they are. That or can't remember. But regardless of that, these little creatures are doing some sort of science, and I am pretty sure there's another character there from another source of media that I watched. But I can't for the life of me remember. Maybe I should write this stuff down. I heard that helps remember these. But moving on past that, the dream, for some reason, it just kind of blips me in and out of this strange situation. And one of the situations that I remember vividly, or two of them, is one where I was just randomly going around my college and some sort of mega mall. I don't know. My brain registers my college as some sort of labyrinthian mega building that's more vertical rather than horizontal. It's strange. I don't know why. And the shopping mall experience of it is probably just because I spend money at my college, because sometimes I'm there late. But regardless, moving on from that. For some reason, in that section of the dream, I was riding around in some sort of hoverboard type thing, and I was schmoovin', let me tell you. If anything, that was the good part of the dream, and the only good dream I've had, since I can't really remember, man. It's been a while since I've had a good dream, and even then, this was only one brief section of it. It was like that was the only part of the dream that I had actual control of. I was moving around with pinpoint accuracy as if I was a modern-day Tony Hawk, but instead of a skateboard, I'm on some sort of flying whatchamoozy. Regardless, all good things must come to an end, and this end came in the form of me getting transported onto some sort of weird train type thing. There was a bunch of people beside me around my age, something like that. And then there was a monster, because of course there was a monster, but the thing about this monster is that I couldn't see it. And apparently it was not a good thing to see it, because oftentimes when people would look back, they would just tell me not to look back. And I knew that it would have some sort of deep impact if I did, so I just didn't do so, despite, the characters in the dream being capable of looking back and having the wherewithal to tell me to not look back. I don't know, dreams are weird, man. And so eventually we get to the outside of this fictionalized dream version of my college for some reason, again, and there's this sort of floating orb in the sky, like think the wormhole from Interstellar. And basically, one of the characters in the dream started freaking out because as soon as we got closer, we noticed that the orb was too high up in the sky and we wouldn't really be able to get to it in time before the creature just kind of ate us up. Although, now that I think about it, it was less of a creature and more sort of a force of nature that just kept on moving. Also, for some reason, I remember vividly that the path to the orb was just like little cracks in the pavement and stuff like that. Nothing really huge. It was just kind of mundane. I don't know why. And I think this might have been me doing it, but the orb lowered, like as soon as we got closer, the orb just started lowering down, and then everyone just sort of gradually chilled out and stopped being so, freaked out. And here's the weirdest bit of this sort of reoccurring dream. For some reason, whenever it's time to go, it's like this sort of casual thing where we just pick up all our stuff, and my family, we just get into whatever means of transportation it is to take us to the new dimension. And within the new dimension, we always, for some reason, land in a children's birthday party for someone on my mom's side of the family. And it's just so weird because it's always them. And I don't even know why. But regardless, the dream ends after that, or I think at least. Anyways, moving on to a slightly freakier dream. This dream is more straightforward, more so, no twists and turns that I can remember. But essentially what happens is that my house is alive, but not in the standard sense. Instead, what would happen is that pieces of the floor or ceiling or things like of that nature would separate from the house, and there would be bits of flesh and chunks of blood or whatever, viscera, surrounding the edges where the floorboard or whatever turned into a skittering little creature, and it had human-like hands, and it was just crawling around. I think it might have had a human face, I'm not sure. The closest thing that I can describe it as, but not exactly, I might be getting this wrong, but I think it's the Scion from Elden Ring. It's the first boss that you encounter. It's like the tutorial / scripted death boss, sort of. You know the one if you play the game. But not exactly, because it had, the floor chunk on its back like a turtle. And then while all this was happening, I dreamt that my aunt's boyfriend was an FBI agent for some reason, and my dad was also there, and they were in 2 separate rooms, and I had to keep an eye on both of them because I knew that they'd get disappeared or they'd get grabbed up by one of these creatures if I even so much as stopped looking at one of them. So I had to do like a friggin' chameleon sort of thing with weird freaky eyes. I don't know, man. It was just so damn weird. That all being said, that's just my experiences with dreams and all that sort of jazz. Let me know about your dreams in the comments down below. As always, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, so that way I can reach 23 subscribers and officially pass up my dad in terms of subscribers. He has not posted in 15 years, and I really need to beat him, because, bragging rights. Alright, that's it from me. Peace out.